Hey everybody, hope you're having a good weekend. It's Cam. Let's talk some stocks. So in this video, we're going to take a quick look at S&P 500 ETF SPY, as the Senate did pass the COVID-19 relief bill. So that is going to have a huge impact on futures and could affect a lot of market movements going forward, especially with the dip being bought Friday. And then the majority of this video is going to talk about GameStop and AMC and where I think they can move based on their charts right now. So we'll just jump right over Thinkorswim and look at the SPY ETF for the S&P 500. So I have a fib level right here in white from the recent low at the end of January to the high, intraday high that we hit on February 16th. And then I drew this downward trend line connecting the tops here. And you can see this last week we've been with this turmoil, the selling off, the correction phase, especially if the NASDAQ got more than 10% down from all-time highs. But we're seeing a big broadening of candles here, right? So the daily ranges have grown. So this candle on Thursday, 384 to 371. So $13 range right there. So that's close to 3-4% when you say you go back here into February. The range is 3. So quite a bit of speculation entering the markets, and then with potential stimulus money coming out, $1,400 going to people. Some of those stimmies are going to be put into the market to hopefully turn them into attendees for the Wall Street bets gangs and retail investors. So I think with especially with the buying that came in on Friday, you see Thursday had a wick, so it sold off. Buyers came in. Friday we had a huge drop in the morning, right? So futures gapped up Thursday after hours in the pre-market, and then immediately sold off as soon as the market opened. And then about 8:30 just took off like a rocket, going higher, and pulled right back into these moving averages here, the 9 and the 22 here on the daily. And I think to get like bullish again for sure, you'd like to see the futures gap up, into this 386 to 388 range. I think 388 is kind of the resistance area. So if you look previously here, we got 1, 2, 3 areas that are wicky, and just a lot of price moving in there. And then if you just look at volume, there is a little low volume here between 386 and 388, but above 388 we do have a lot of volume from consolidation. So I think if we can get up, break this 78 fib, which is here, just 388.62, get above this downtrend line, we could be looking to get higher with the stock market, especially with all the upcoming infrastructure bills that are supposed to come next after the COVID relief bills. And then if you just take a quick look at the daily, you'll see on the volume that a lot of buyers came in this week compared to last week. So the red obviously is basically the percentage of people selling compared to total volume. So a lot of buyers came in this week, and it shows in the candle by it basically being like a doji here, right? So big wick on the bottom, big wick on the top, but buyers came in definitely around the 375 and below level to send this thing back up. So I think with the money coming into the market, that's good news for these heavily shorted retail investment stocks that people have been playing and have been moving violently. Like, so your GameStop, your AMC's, Costs, BlackBerry, Fubo, which is beaten down now after its earnings, only closed under $30. But money's going to be circulating back into this. You're back onto your FOMO wheel in investment, right? So the greed fear index was in the fear area last week. I think with the stimulus now, it's going to go back over into the green, into the greedy area, and people are going to be much more willing to put their markets out with the government and the Fed willing to support the stock market. So let's look at GameStop first, as I think it has a better chance, or I shouldn't say better chance. My opinion doesn't matter what the chart says, but I think its chart is more conducive to a squeeze right now than AMC. But you see here on the weekly, you can't see much on the weekly just because the range is so huge. But you see here, still based on the volume candle here, that the buyers did come in this week as a higher percentage compared to last week. but the volume was down this week. So we'll see if that volume can pick up. But with volume being down, you usually get inside bars, and that's what we got last week. So if you're swing trader, one idea, just easy plays. If it breaks out of the top of this candle, you look to go long. If it breaks below, you look to go short. So that's an easy setup. And then if you notice here on the RSI, I don't know if it's just something that I've noticed, or people, if there's actually like studies on this, I'm not sure. But I've noticed, just like on a lot of time frames, if the RSI hangs around 50, so obviously here we're way overbought 97, it slows down, and we stay around 50, so you're right here, 52, 51, 49, 49, and then it comes back up. I wonder if, I'm just curious if that people have noticed that, because I've seen it on a lot of time frames too, where it hangs around 50 and then it bounces again. And if that is a thing, if you know on Thinkorswim how to add an extra line in here, because right now you can only have 2 that I know of, unless you code it. But so if somebody knows that, please let me know in the comments, because I'm just curious about that as something I've noticed. But if we go to the daily, so we got that sharp move up Wednesday last week, big move after hours, and then sellers came in, sold it back down. But even with all this selling volume, we really couldn't break below 80. We hit 86, but this 85 level, where we did have a low at 85 and some consolidation down in here in the 85 area, the sellers couldn't get it below that. And then we had 5 green candles in a row, hung around this 115 23 fib for a while, but moved off it on Thursday and pushed higher on Friday. So here we're just kind of just steady trending up right now, and sitting about this 78.6 fib from the move down around the 140 level. And as you see, as it's kind of making the slow move here, we're making a new base here for volume. So I think if there is a down turn, or something happens in the market where GameStop starts selling heavily, there is some volume in here that will soak that up, and this volume can act as a launch pad to move farther. So I think you'll see with AMC's last week's kind of curved down, but here we just have the steady up. So I think if we can get through this 140 level and then break through this 150, which we touched on Friday, we could take off to go take out this 186 pretty quickly, because there's not much volume there. And then once the 186 level breaks, we'll probably get some euphoria, FOMO from more people, and then we start chugging up, because there's not much volume in here at all around the $200 area until we get up here into the 300, 325 area. And if we I think you can see it better on the 1 hour chart. But yeah, so if you look here on the 1 hour chart, you can see a little bit the blips on the volume. I think are a little bit easier to see. More there are more vertical bars, more bars per price segment. But if you do like Elliott wave or wave theory on moves, so if this was just your wave 1 move, so 38.6 all the way up to 200, so you're looking at $160 difference. So if you add 160 onto this 140, that puts us up into this $300 area, or you say the breaks 150 off this high, 300, 310, and if you look up here, that's where that volume's at, that we would need, or that would act as resistance above. So I think if all things go well and we get a break above 150, we push up a 186, and if it keeps going, the move probably can get extended up to the $300 area. I think there is a possibility that happens before the end of the month, but it wouldn't surprise me. Say this breaks up, pokes back up above the 200, goes up to like 250, and then comes back down and uses 200 as a base before it moves up to 300, 325. And I think definitely that's probably the squeeze area for the end of the month, as options there'll be a lot of options expiring at the end of the month for GameStop. So I think this chart is more conducive to a squeeze right now than AMC. So we'll go jump to AMC, and we'll go just out to the weekly first to see it from the long range. But AMC's weekly chart, you see, kind of bottomed out here on the 9 and the 50. Got the move last Wednesday with GameStop when it moved later in the day. And then like GameStop, we do have an inside bar on low volume, but a lot of the volume on the bar is selling volume. So that's the difference with GameStop. But also here, just on our side again, held that $50 level. You could say that that's like a break-even point, I guess, for the buyer seller. I guess that's what I was trying to say earlier. Kind of held that spot, so momentum's still going up. But I think this 200 moving average right here on the weekly is kind of important because it's touching right here about that $11 range where we wicked last week, so that'll act as resistance area above. And one thing I think AMC will have a harder time to do compared to GameStop is there's a lot more volume above that can act as resistance, especially as we get back down into the daily, as you can see in this $14-15 area. So just look on the daily, you'll see we broke out last Wednesday just like GameStop, higher Thursday, Friday, got the gap, sold off, pulled back into this 23.6 fib, 772, got away from that after Monday, but we pulled back into it at the end of the week. Had 2 wicks below it, or so 2 wicks through it Thursday, Friday, but this 22 EMA acted as support in the low 774 area, so we'll look to see if that'll hold this week, this fib level and the moving averages. So if this sellers do come in, I think this could pretty quickly go back down to this 50 moving average, down into the low sixes. And if I can zoom this correctly, you see the volume. There is not a lot of volume once you get into the low sevens, upper sixes. So if this area of support holds, say GameStop starts running, so AMC and all the other Wall Street bets plays start moving too. You'll look to see this curl up to that 11, retest that the top here from Friday, but also that weekly moving average. And then you'll see there's just that one blip of volume right about 11. If we can get through that, we'll look to push up into this $14-15 area where there is a lot of volume that we'll have to push through to continue squeezing. And so if you look at the wave thing again, just like with GameStop here, you got a low 532 up to straight $11, so $5.50 move. So that would put us right at 8. So that would put us up to into 13.5. So right again, absorbing into that area of a lot of volume that would act as resistance. So the possible moves are there. It's just going to be conducive to how the market reacts to the relief bill. I haven't really read into it about too much of what's passed, what's actually in it. I know they changed the unemployment stuff to like $300 a month. It's all going to be dependent on how the markets react to that relief bill come futures on Sunday, and that will be the immediate move. So if it's a bad reaction to it, you probably see AMC and other stocks go down. If it's a good reaction, I think we could pretty quickly start moving up, try and take out this $11. We'll go through this $9 area of resistance first, this 8.9. That's we've been sitting around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, and then get into there, and then move up to 11, and look for these things to stair step up, and then squeeze pretty quickly towards the month end with options expiring. So that's what I think could potentially happen with AMC and GameStop for the month of March, and maybe long term. Though there's no really time frame on these plays. You just got to do what the charts say is probable. So if you see something different on the charts, or you have a different play you're looking at for these two stocks, please let me know in the comments. I like looking at everybody's opinions. It's not like a zero-sum game on opinions. It's kind of like art. You want to steal from art. So if somebody has a theory, why not look at it and see if you can take something from it. So if you got something, please let me know in the comments. I'll definitely consider and look at what you have to say. And as always, if there's anything I can do for you guys, please let me know. Right? If you want to see another video, if you want to see a certain stock breakdown and chart, let me know, and I will look at it for you and get back to you. Thanks, and as always, have a good weekend, and we'll see you in the next one.